Hello viewers, how are you? Hope you are fine. Welcome back to my channel Drawing Time with Story. If you are new in my channel, I will introduce myself and my channel with you. I am Suraya Parveen, and in my channel I select an object or a theme to draw, and while drawing you will not get bored. I will narrate you a story about the topic I draw, or deliver some information, or simply just we gossip together about the topic, or the personal experiences we will share related to the topic. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel, and please hit the bell icon to get notified whenever I release a brand new story just for you, and obviously with a drawing too. So as you saw, my today's topic was a feature plant, that is a carnivorous plant, and today I will narrate you a story that was written by Brett Amy Thielen. So it is about the story of a leafy, creepy carnivore plant named feature plant. So let's jump to the story. The author started in this way that when, as a kid, I was fascinated and terrified by the idea of carnivorous plants. Growing up in suburban New Jersey, my only exposure to this subset of the plant kingdom was the ravenous, larger than life Venus flytrap in Little Shop of Horrors. If I stumbled upon a carnivorous plant in real life, I wondered, would it have teeth? If I ventured too close, would it grab onto my finger and never let go? Just imagine my disappointment when, years later, I found out that carnivorous plants eat only insects and small invertebrates. The first time I saw one of the non-theoretical variety, a round-leaved sundew glistening in a dune-like wetland on outer Cape Cod, I was struck by its small stature and delicate, jewel-like threads. Such a far cry from the voracious, chomping tendrils I would envisioned as a girl. Since then, I have spent many afternoons exploring freshwater ponds by paddle, and discovered that if you work your canoe along the edge of a late summer bog mat in New England, you are likely to encounter three types of carnivorous plants: bladderworts, feature plants, and the aforementioned sundew. With its showy maiden blooms and red-veined, bell-shaped leaves, the northern feature plant is easiest to spot. In a remarkable feat of evolution, the feature's eponymous leaves function as vessels for the collection of rainwater, in which insects die and decompose, yielding the nitrogen contained in their bodies to their botanical captures. Ants, beetles, spiders, and slugs dominate the feature plant's diet, though one study found representatives of an outstanding 115 insect families inside North Carolina features. Earlier this year, however, a study published in Ecology, that is a famous magazine called Ecology, reported something straight out of my childhood imaginations. Northern feature plants also eat salamanders. In fact, nearly 20% of the feature plants surveyed by biologists in a fishless bog in Ontario's National Park contain recently metamorphosed spot salamanders. On multiple occasions, more than one salamander was found within a single feature. Oh my god, that is very shocking and weird too. I didn't know the information, I am definitely sure that the informations I am telling you, these are completely new to you too. In some instances, trapped salamanders went from alert and active to dead in as few as 3 days. Others survived 19 days or more. As with everything, timing appears to be key. Individual pitcher plants can live upward of 50 years, producing 5 to 10 pitchers each year. That means their reproduction rate is very good. New leaves begin growing in late spring, once the danger of frost has passed. New spotted salamanders also begin growing in late spring. So there is always a connection between the food levels, that is called food wave. And there is a correlation between the growing of the new leaves of the pitcher plants and the growing of the salamanders too. Let's see who wins. So though timing varies by region, spotted salamander eggs typically hatch in May or June. The aquatic salamander larvae grow throughout June and July and are usually ready for life on land by late summer, if they don't first find their way into a pitcher plant's gaping maw. So as you see that all the things related to the survival, who will survive, who will win, the who wins, it will survive. So the Algonquin National Park surveys took place in August and September, just as the salamanders were metamorphosing. The researchers concluded that salamanders may serve as an appreciable seasonal nutrient pulse for pitcher plants, and further, that pitcher plants could be a non-trivial source of mortality for young salamanders. The biologists theorized that salamanders might have been overlooked as pitcher plant prey simply because no one had been watching during the narrow window of time when young amphibians were finding their way into the pitchers, and because some of the soft-bodied salamanders decomposed in fewer than 10 days after coming into contact with the enzymes and microorganisms, that is mites, rotifers, protozoa, bacteria, that aid the plant in digestion. And there was another research in which nearly 10% of the pitchers observed at Herbert Pond in August 2003 contained larval red-spotted newts in various stages of decomposition. The Harvard researchers calculated that a single larval newt contains 100 times more nitrogen than an ant, speculating that pitcher plants fortunate enough to acquire a newt's worth of nutrients in the late summer might be more likely to flower the following spring than those leaning on more diminutive prey. Of course, both studies raise more questions than the answer. How and why do young salamanders find their way into the pitchers? How often do they escape? Do pitcher plants in amphibian-rich ecosystems fare better than their salamander-less compatriots? And how widespread is this phenomenon exactly? This August inspired to find out whether our local pitchers were feasting on amphibians, and with visions of saving fresh-fished young salamanders from death by digestive enzyme, my husband and I took to several nearby bogs in search of pitcher plant prey. Inching our canoe close enough to peer down into the snake-mouthed leaves, we found moths and ants and slugs, and on more than one occasion an unidentifiable slurry of decomposing goo. but no salamanders. So various research is going on upon the carnivorous plant, pitcher plants. But what do we know by the carnivorous plant? Carnivorous plants are plants that derive some or most of their nutrients from trapping and consuming animals or protozoans, typically insects and other arthropods. However, carnivorous plants generate energy from photosynthesis. So, carnivorous plants have adapted to grow in places where the soil is thin or poor in nutrients, especially nitrogen, such as acidic bogs. Charles Darwin wrote Insectivorous Plants, the first well-known treatise on carnivorous plants, in 1875. Carnivorous plants can be found on all continents except Antarctica, as well as many Pacific islands. True carnivory is thought to have evolved independently 9 times in 5 different orders of flowering plants and is represented by more than a dozen genera. This classification includes at least 583 species that attract, trap, and kill prey, absorbing the resulting available nutrients. This number has increased by approximately 3 species per year since year 2000. Additionally, over 300 of protocarnivorous plant species in several genera show some but not all of these characteristics. A 2020 assessment has found that roughly 1/4 are threatened with extinction from human actions. So, 5 basic trapping mechanisms are found in carnivorous plants. Number 1. Pitfall traps. Pitcher plants trap prey in a rolled leaf that contains a pool of digestive enzymes or bacteria. Number 2. Flypaper traps use a sticky mucilage. Number 3. Snap traps utilize rapid leaf movements. Number 4. Bladder traps suck in prey with a bladder that generates an internal vacuum. Number 5. Lobster pot traps, also known as eel traps, force prey to move towards a digestive organ with inward pointing hairs. These traps may be active or passive, depending on whether movement aids the capture of prey. For example, the pitcher plant is a passive flypaper that secretes mucilage, but whose leaves don't grow or move in response to prey capture. Meanwhile, sundews are active flypaper traps whose leaves undergo rapid acid growth, which is an expansion of individual cells as opposed to cell division. The rapid acid growth allows the sundew tentacles to bend, aiding in the retention and digestion of prey. So, as you see that everywhere is a technique to survive. The pitcher plants also play a role of techniques to survive. They just attract the insects to be digested in their traps that is filled with various types of digestive enzymes. It's all about the ecology. We are all interconnected. Nature is really beautiful, really diversified. See you soon with a new story and a new drawing. Bye. And one more thing, don't forget to subscribe my channel to stay connected with me, to stay connected with Drawing Time with Your Story, because we will enjoy together, we will draw together, and we will obviously listen to a brand new story related to the topic. And if you have any suggestion or any request to draw, so please don't hesitate, let me know in my comment section. I will deliver you the information or the suggestion. I will sincerely take. I appreciate your comments. I try to read every comments and reply them, and so please, if you have any request, then don't hesitate to let me know. See you soon. Bye.